The message arrived on a Tuesday. Humanity had been denied membership to the Galactic Council for the third and final time. Admiral James Walker stood on the observation deck of the UES Defiant, Earth's flagship, and stared at the holographic notification with thinly veiled contempt. The Council's reasoning was the same as always. Humans were too aggressive, too unpredictable, and insufficiently evolved for inclusion in their precious interstellar community. "Pretentious bastards," he muttered, dismissing the hologram with a wave of his hand. "They've been watching us for centuries, and that's their conclusion." His second-in-command, Commander Diana Miller, stood beside him, arms crossed. "They fear what they don't understand, sir." "No," Walker corrected, turning to face the sprawling vista of stars beyond the viewport. "They fear what they understand all too well." The Galactic Council, composed of 12 ancient species who had achieved interstellar travel millennia before humans had invented the wheel, governed most of the known galaxy. Their member species enjoyed access to advanced technologies, protected trade routes, and mutual defense pacts. Without Council membership, Earth remained isolated, vulnerable, and technologically stunted compared to the galactic community. At least that had been the plan. It took precisely 5 Earth years for humanity to make the Council regret their decision. Humanity had always excelled at improvisation, where the Council races developed technologies through careful, methodical research over centuries. Humans cobbled together solutions in months. Where Council diplomacy moved at a glacial pace, human ambassadors formed alliances over dinner and drinks. Most importantly, humans weren't the only ones the Council had rejected. "The Trillions have agreed to our proposal," announced Director Alex Reed at the Emergency Summit in New Geneva. Representatives from 30 human colonies filled the chamber, along with ambassadors from 6 non-Council species. "That makes 7 allied civilizations now." President Maria Torres smiled. "Then it's time. We formally established the Terran Concordat today." The chamber erupted in applause. What had begun as a desperate alliance of necessity had evolved into something unprecedented. A counter-federation to challenge the Council's monopoly on galactic governance. The Concordat offered what the Council would not: rapid technological exchange without bureaucratic oversight, mutual defense without political subjugation, and most crucially, respect regardless of evolutionary age or cultural practices. By the 10th year, the Concordat controlled nearly a third of the galaxy's trade routes. The Council's economic models had never accounted for human business practices or human work ethic. On the industrial world of Proxima b, human engineers worked alongside massive dorsary builders to construct shipyards that outproduced anything in Council space. Humans lacked the dorsary's natural strength, but they designed exosuits to compensate and workflows that maximized efficiency. In research stations orbiting distant neutron stars, human scientists collaborated with the crystalline Ixari, whose perception of time made them excellent theoreticians but poor experimentalists. Humans provided the practical application the Ixari lacked. What humans brought to every partnership was adaptability and urgency, qualities the ancient Council species had forgotten over millennia of stagnant prosperity. In the 15th year, the Council extended a formal diplomatic invitation to Earth. "They're nervous," observed Admiral Walker, now gray-haired, but still commanding the UES Defiant, vastly upgraded with Concordat technologies. The Alderan Trade Federation just applied for Concordat membership last month. That's 4 former Council members who defected. President Torres, in her 3rd term, studied the Council's message. "They've offered us full membership. No probationary period." "It's too late," Walker replied. 20 years ago, we would have celebrated this moment. Now, he gestured to the stellar map displaying Concordat territory in blue, nearly matching the Council's red regions. Torres nodded. "Now we've built something better." The Council had expected humans to either beg for admission or wither in isolation. They had never anticipated that humanity would simply build an alternative, one that would eventually outshine them. By the 25th year, the balance of power had shifted irrevocably. The Council chamber, unchanged for 12,000 years, hosted an unprecedented meeting. For the first time, the Council's leadership met with the Concordat's representatives as equals. Commander Miller, Now Admiral Miller led the human delegation. She remembered standing on the Defiance observation deck when the first rejection came through. Now she stood before the Council as the representative of an empire that had reshaped galactic politics in a single human generation. The Terran Concordat proposes a merger of our organizations. She announced to the stunned Council members. Equal representation, shared technologies, unified defense. You cannot be serious. The Eldar representative sputtered, his translucent appendages quivering with indignation. Your federation is barely a quarter-century old. The Council has maintained galactic peace for 12 millennia. Miller smiled, and yet half your former members have joined us. We're not conquering you, we're offering a partnership. Something you should have offered us from the beginning. The Council's leader, an ancient Volsheri, whose species had evolved before Earth's first multicellular organisms, studied Miller with compound eyes that had witnessed the rise and fall of countless civilizations. You have accomplished in decades what took others millennia, the leader admitted. Perhaps we were mistaken about humanity's potential. Miller's expression remained diplomatic, but her eyes held a glint of satisfaction. That's the difference between us, Counselor. You see potential as something to be wary of. We see it as something to be realized. The treaty that emerged from those negotiations created the United Galactic Alliance, a new interstellar government incorporating the best elements of both organizations. At its core was the principle that had built the Concordat. Advancement came not from cautious isolation, but from bold collaboration. Earth had transformed from a rejected applicant into the architect of a new galactic order, all because the Council had underestimated humanity's defining trait. When denied a seat at the table, humans would simply build a better table and invite everyone else to join them.